On the news tonight, Nigerians at the ongoing Nigeria-India Business Conference commend the bilateral trade partnership. FCT Police Command parades 19 criminal suspects. And as Nigeria marks International Day of Clean Air, experts advocate partnership across nations to reduce air pollution. Good evening and welcome to the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. I am Ifoma Ojinta. The multi-billion-dollar investment interest indicated by Indian investors in Nigeria has continued to elicit commendations by stakeholders in various sectors who believe the Nigerian economy is heading towards greater heights. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab reports from New Delhi.
Don't procrastinate. Don't be frightened about investments in Nigeria. Bring it on.
The chief marketing officer of his country kicked off the process, and his canvassers soon went on the drive.
This government, the president, but also the Minister of Finance, is extremely committed to ensuring that we digitalize government services in Nigeria.
We have opportunity with infrastructural deficit of about 3 trillion to bridge between now and the next 50 years. And that creates a huge opportunity for investors like yourself.
Not only ready for business, the Nigerian government also shows its preparedness to create the enabling environments for the existing and upcoming businesses to thrive.
There is Jindal Power and Steel, which committed $3 billion business. There's also Skipper, which deals with the power, it's a power company, Indorama, as well as Ashok Leyland. So this indicates that the Indians are now ready to do business with Nigeria because of the confidence they have in the new government.
Nigeria, we are lucky to have him at this critical time because he understood business, at the same time understood governance.
On the other side, Nigerian investors attracted partners in their drives with special interest in oil and gas, solar energy, information technology, agriculture, and infrastructure developments.
Our company in Nigeria currently has over 140,000 customers with this Indian partner to connect people rurally, and then we rely on technology to collect revenues from the rural areas via mobile money.
Mr. President believed rightly so. He wrote about it, he speaks about it, that Nigeria can and indeed will find hundreds of billions of dollars from the international investing and domestic investors.
Doubling the existing trade volume of about $15 billion in Nigeria, key players project that the strategic partnership between Nigeria and India will continue to grow in a win-win situation. From New Delhi, Musbah and Wahab, NT News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured Nigerians of his renewed and energized focus on delivering his vision of a unified, peaceful, and prosperous nation following the judgment by the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja. In a statement signed by Andrew Ngelale, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, President Tinubu welcomes the judgment of the tribunal with an intense sense of solemn responsibility and preparedness to serve all Nigerians, irrespective of all diverse political persuasions, faith, and tribal identities. The President recognizes the diligence, undoubted thoroughness, and professionalism of the 5-member bench in interpreting the law. The President affirms that his commitment to the rule of law and the unhindered discharge of duties by the tribunal, as witnessed in the panel's exclusive respect for the merits of the petitions brought forward, further reflects the continuing maturity of Nigeria's legal system and the advancement of Africa's largest democracy at a time when our democratic system of government is under test in other parts of the continent. The President believes the presidential candidates and political parties that have lawfully exercised their rights by participating in the 2023 general elections and the judicial process have affirmed Nigeria's democratic credentials. Once more, President Tinubu thanks Nigerians for the mandate given to him to serve the country, while promising to meet and exceed expectations by the grace of God Almighty and through very diligent hard work with the team that he has put in place for that sole purpose. Our group, under the auspices of the APC National Integrity Movement, says President Tinubu's 100 days in office ignites the hope for better things ahead for the country. The group, in its solidarity with the president, converged on the Unity Fountain in Abuja, where they expressed their support to the administration's renewed hope mandate. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
With a strong conviction on the leadership credentials of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, leaders and members of the APC National Integrity Movement, in their show of support to the current administration, say the first 100 days of the president in office have witnessed a more proactive, sensitive and deliberate policies and painstaking decisions necessary to take Nigeria out of the doldrums.
Mr. President has not failed the country. He has done very well. He's proactive in terms of responding to issues. He's somebody that is fully prepared for the job. We are not surprised for his response towards issues of Nigerians because he has a better understanding of what he's coming in to do in the office. What he needs now is support and encouragement.
Just having 100 days and coming up with all the things that we're facing him, to have the courage to talk about the fuel subsidy removal was one great thing for this nation.
The recent inauguration of the federal cabinet, the group believes, will help translate the president's renewed hope vision into good governance.
The administration had done wonderfully well in terms of youth inclusion in government. And let's not forget that it's a developmental stage.
The partisan group urges Nigerians to be patient with the government in the face of high expectations and challenges that are surmountable with more time of commitment. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Let's talk security now. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, says the Nigerian Army under his watch will continue to ensure strict observance of human rights laws for improved performance of troops in internal security and peace support operations. The Army Chief said this in a message at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Army on Human Rights Seminar in Abuja. Software Alabi has more.
The Nigerian Army has a sacred obligation to ensure that its personnel perform their duties within the limits prescribed by law, including the International Charter on Human Rights. Currently, the Nigerian Army is conducting internal security operations across the country with other security agencies, and it is expedient that discipline and professionalism is maintained at all levels. It is against this background that the Army Headquarters is organizing this session with the theme National Security and the Complexities of Human Rights to enable troops under the command perform their duties strictly in compliance with human rights and globally accepted standards.
The Nigerian Army and the human rights advocacy groups share a common goal, which is the protection of innocent civilians in conflict areas.
That the national security strategy and other related policies articulate a human security and people-centered approach.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, represented by the Nigerian Army's Chief of Administration, Major General Jimmy Akpo, says adopting a multidimensional approach and interface is necessary in view of the extended engagements in internal security operations.
We need to enhance capacity for efficient employment of the instruments of national power while harnessing the potentials of our allies towards achieving the desired results.
This conversation is in furtherance of the Chief of Army Staff's command philosophy to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped and highly motivated force to achieve its constitutional responsibility within a joint environment. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
The FCT Police Command has paraded 19 suspects arrested for various criminal offenses across the Federal Capital Territory. Commissioner of Police FCT Haruna Garba, while parading the suspects, said the successes are the result of the command's reinvigorated zeal to defeat crime in the nation's capital. Onotu Yakubu reports.
Amongst those paraded are a logistics supplier and informant to kidnappers, cultists, vandals of critical infrastructure, suspected armed robbers, and suspected syndicate of one chance specialized in disguising their vehicles using foreign and Nigerian number plates. Gabriel Oliver and Emmanuel Ishaku were apprehended after they had allegedly robbed and carted away electronic equipment from a redeemed Christian Church of God, Galadimawa.
We point torchlight at the security men, we caught them and we tied them.
Similarly, Nuhu Zaria and Bumi Samuel specialize in phone snatching at bus stops and using SIM cards from such phones to rob victims' bank accounts, while Kendi Nwaha deals in buying stolen goods such as laptops.
The president of the entire car, and I pick your phone.
When they see the phone, they give me the SIM, then I insert it on the small phone. There's a general code I press, it brings out all the list of the bank in the SIM.
I know they steal the laptop because of the rate they sell it.
Commissioner of Police Haruna Garba said the command is reviewing strategies to give crime fighting in the territory a run for its money.
We cannot defeat crime and criminality all alone. We require your support and your cooperation.
The command reiterated commitments and willingness to defeat crime in the Federal Capital Territory. NTA News.
Stakeholders in the Nigerian transportation sector have underscored the significance of the sector to national development and socio-economic prosperity of the country, which require innovative and strategic smart transformation to meet modern demands and the exigencies of a fast-growing population. This was the position of transportation administrators under the auspices of Nigeria Transportation Commissioners Forum at the 2023 Orientation Summit in Abuja. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
The transport sector, take it or leave it, is the most important.
After declaring open the two-day summit by the representative of the Minister of Transportation, a number of key issues in the Nigerian transportation sector dominated the discourse among the industry players, representing the national and sub-national governments, who in a holistic view used the platform to cross-fertilize ideas on the best way forward for a more efficient sector. This is expected through the peer review mechanism and shared strategic knowledge.
Smart transportation systems, as we know, are transformative. It enhances the way we travel, commute, and connect with one another. We must lower our individualism and leverage our corporate strength.
There is need for government to fast-track the national transport policy, and that this smart transportation system, the current global trends, must be included.
Quite a lot we can do as a very critical subsector in driving of our economy.
So much ideas thought out of the international best practices, experts call for genuine commitment to make the sector more viable, as they emphasize leveraging on smart technology and proper planning.
To provide a platform for enhanced coordination, share best practices, and collectively work towards the development and improvement of national transportation infrastructure.
Strong government commitments and political will, collaboration, investment in infrastructure, among other desires, experts maintain, are required for the attainment of goals of a functional transportation system in the country. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
And a report just reaching us states that the downpour has rendered many motorists and pedestrians stranded as Gudu Bridge overflows its bank. The situation resulted to traffic gridlock along the road as motorists and Okada riders were afraid to risk driving through the bridge as it poses danger to their lives. Correspondent Deborah Bala-Bubu reports that the Gudu Bridge overflows whenever there is a downpour.
Is here for you. Because only fine ingredients go into Sedap Supreme Chicken Essence to give it that truly delicious chicken taste. Sedap Supreme Tasty Chicken Noodles, capturing the supreme tasty chicken goodness. Come and taste the difference of Nigeria's real chicken essence noodle. Be Supreme Nigeria.
I'm afraid we'll bring you sports now as we have another report, which is according to World Health Organization, 99% of the world's population breathes polluted air. This threat to nature and biodiversity calls for stronger partnership across nations and governments. When Dogo tells us how the world is working to reduce challenges of air pollution.
Air pollution globally is considered by environmentalists as one of the biggest health risks, with probably 9 out of 10 persons breathing unsafe air. The International Day of Blue Skies for Clean Air has been designated by the United Nations as a day to raise awareness about the dangers of air pollution. This year, there is a call for a multi-stakeholder partnership which will help bolster investment and provide a platform that allows countries involved to embrace a shared responsibility to address air pollution. Experts say extreme exposure can lead to different medical conditions like stroke, heart disease, lung disease, cancer, and more.
Air pollution contributes to heart disease, strokes, lung cancer, and other respiratory diseases. It causes an estimated 7 million premature deaths every year, predominantly in low and middle-income countries. Air pollution also threatens the economy, food security, and the environment. The world needs to pay far greater attention to air pollution. We must also urgently address the deeper threat of climate change. Limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees will help reduce air pollution, death, and disease. We need dramatic and systemic change. Reinforced environmental standards, policies, and laws that prevent emissions of air pollutants are needed more than ever.
Available records indicate that more than 6 million people die every year, while 2 billion people are exposed to dangerous levels of household air pollution. Experts suggest that if countries work together across borders and boundaries, this will help reduce air pollution. In Abuja, Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
We now bring you the sports story.
Ahead of Sunday Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between Nigeria and Sao Tome and Principe, the Super Eagles handlers have the compliments of all invited players who had their first training Wednesday evening at the training pitch of the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. Nigeria, who had already qualified with 12 points from Group A, will be hoping to add to their points tally. In another development, Nigeria's Victor Osimhen makes list of nominees for the 2023 Ballon d'Or Men's Award, making him the first Nigerian to be nominated for the prestigious prize since Nwankwo Kanu made it in 1999. Talking tennis, Spanish tennis sensation and world #1 Carlos Alcaraz is just 2 games away to defend his US Open title, as he has booked a semi-final place after a quarter-final straight sets 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 victory against Alexander Zverev in the 2023 US Open at the Flushing Meadows, setting up a semi-final clash against world #3 Daniil Medvedev. With Sports Brief, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
And with Sports Brief, we conclude the news in English. Up next is the news translations. Thanks for watching.
ama agbaje yeshaje wo wona bi ku jagbeda iwa na ba se wa gbeda wo mu president wa yuba won wa na ba ye gayi iki tukoda yebola Ahmed Tinubu woku bedada ivia de kinye ege yiku bugbaji pi ya gachaga nge wala oba reche washin otutu to mgbagbotu na bai yikin kwen kwa bua afegi nje yikin tukoda wobe da woda de ntu wabo na zukwa ya nje mataye galuko akuli ashe nje kin tukoda shirpaye nyana bashi aida kwezana gbanje anjuru inglela wada nge yikin tukoda ku agmadanya she owe kuku dawo wagodo nge awada igwa tun ba kututi shitu mgbagbotu salasi wachewe washintunu mana ntu yikin abibo nje yiki tukoda yiki je abada kawu da zanagman je lieutenant general tori lagbaja wada nge abada kawu da tete jin wi adudu aba abayeche nzaza he nai gbogbatu fi kwache babua bashin tutun shoko kuche fi ekinye kwe dade na zai ba fi lo na jabwe nje tope alabi wada nge zanagman ye be da bada da sanu mbabe shin ye shi ba da bada da antuna abada kawu da banai gbogbatu fi wagodo nge nbaba pege a shimbayo loko ma a kuba fi nga ba sha che ba ya baba jin abada kauda zai ba shi tutu to gbogbatu akizina abuse bida atete she ba koku aza fi anwu a oche chu agban ina jinu polo nge abanu zimbalo ba yivi fi ikizina ekwen neze akubu wada nge abuse bida zana gban ikizina ya haruna garba wada nge abuse bida ba mi ba shi fi aza epia anwu ntuge bala buba tunu ge ba shi ba tutu to gbogbatu baje bala azanu kwenya ikizina wagodo nge agbubate lolo ntu na za banu kwe shi pon zaza hai waje nge za wazaza ugbe nyafanya wayi amuda ya busi gida babaze za pia busi amma agbaja na baje kuzo ibe jada wasu shakwasi paga shakwari yusu saisu
Masu kallo da sauraron mu barkanmu da haka ga labaranmu na yau mai a takaice mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. Bayan samun nasarar zama zababben shugaban ƙasa a hukuncin da kotun sauraron kararrakin zaɓe ta ƙasa ta yanke a jiya Laraba, shugaba Bola Ahmed Tinubu ya sake jaddada ƙudurin gwamnatinsa na mai da hankali wajen haɗa kan al'ummar ƙasa, zaman lafiya da ci gaban ƙasar nan. A jawabin da mai taimakawa shugaba Tinubu na musamman a fannin sadarwa da jama'a a Juringa Lele ya sawa hannu, shugaba Tinubu ya bayyana farin cikinsa akan shari'a tare da bayyana shirinsa na yi wa ɗaukacin al'ummar Najeriya aiki ba tare da la'akari da bambance-bambancen su na yare, siyasa da ɓangaranci ba. Babban hafsan sojin Najeriya Lieutenant General Torid Labaja ya ce rundunar sojin Najeriya ƙarƙashin jagorancinsa za ta ci gaba da martaba 'yancin ɗan adam, bunƙasa kayan yaƙi domin tsaron cikin gida da ba da gudunmuwar tabbatar da zaman lafiya da ci gaban ƙasar nan. Wakilin Mutope Alabi ya shaida mana cewa babban hafsan sojin ya bayyana haka ne a yayin taron ƙarawa juna ilimi da aka yi akan kare 'yancin bil'adama a nan birnin tarayya Abuja. Rundunar 'yan sandan Abuja ta gurfanar da mutane 19 da ake zargin su da aikata nau'ikan laifuffuka a sassa daban-daban na birnin Abuja. Wakilin Monoto Yakubu ya rawaito mana cewa kwamishinan 'yan sandan Abuja Haruna Garba a yayin gabatar da masu laifin ga manema labarai ya ce nasarorin da suka samu na naɗe masu laifin na da nasaba da jajircewar rundunar wajen yaƙi da ɓata gari da mugun iri a fannin birnin Abuja da kewaye, a faɗin birnin Abuja da kewaye. Ƙarshen labarin namu ne kenan, mu kwana lafiya.
Igbo bụ Igbo, ekele m unu nọ n'akụkọ nke uhuruchi taa. Onye isi ala Tinubu agwala ndị Naijiria na ọ dị njikere ịrụ ọrụ ga-abara onye ọbụla uru n'agbanyeghị agbụrụ maọbụ okpukperechi. Nke a na-abịa ngwa ngwa ụlọikpe kpebiri na ọ bụ ya meriri n'oge nhọpụta onyeisiala emere n'ala anyị n'ime afọ a. Okwu a sitere n'ọnụ onye na-enyere ya aka maọbụ onye ndụmọdụ ya ka o si metụta mgbasa ozi nakwa nkwukọrịta okwu bụ Ajuri Ngelale. Onyeisi ndị agha ala anyị bụ Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja kwuru na ndị agha ga-echedo ikike dịịrị onye n'oge ọchịchị ya dịka onyeisi ndị agha ala anyị. Tope Alabi kwuru na onyeisi ndị agha kwuru nke a mgbe ọ na-agwa ndị nta akụkọ okwu n'ime Abuja. Ụlọ ọrụ ndị uwe ojii nke Abuja akpụgharịgo mmadụ 19 a na-enyo enyo na ha bụ ndị ekperima n'ime Abuja. Ọnọtu Yakubu mere ka amata na ọ bụ kọmishọna ndị uwe ojii nke Abuja bụ Haruna Garuba kpụgharịrị ndị a ma kwuo na njide ejidere ndị a bụ nnyocha ndị uwe ojii na-enyocha agbụrụ niile nakwa mpaghara niile nke Abuja. Ndewo ndị bụ onye ọma kiriri anyị, ka ọ dịkwa echi.
Ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí pọ̀nyìn láti iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì Kano l'Abuja. Ọláyínká Adéníjì ni oníròyìn yìí. Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ti sọ di mímọ̀ wípé òun yóò rí dájú wípé iṣẹ́ takuntakun ni òun yóò tẹ̀síwájú láti máa ṣe pẹ̀lú àrídájú ìrẹ́pọ̀ àti àlàáfíà tó péye fún orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láìsí àní-àní látàrí ìgbẹ́jọ́ tó kẹsẹ̀ járí láti ọwọ́ ilé ẹjọ́ kòtẹ́milọ́rùn tó wáyé lórí ipò ààrẹ tí ó wáyé ní oṣù kejì ọdún yìí. Nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan láti ọwọ́ Ajuri Ngelale tó jẹ́ olùbádámọ̀ràn àgbà fún ààrẹ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn akọ̀ròyìn fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ wípé ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ní òun tẹ́wọ́ gba ìgbẹ́jọ́ náà pẹ̀lú ìpinnu wípé òun yóò sa ipá òun láti rí dájú pé òun ṣe ojúṣe òun fún àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti wípé ìdàgbàsókè tó péye ni yóò kẹsẹ̀ jáde láìsí àní-àní. Ọ̀gágun àgbà Taoreed Lagbaja tó jẹ́ ọ̀gá àgbà pátá fún àwọn ọmọ ológun ilẹ̀ wa ti ṣàlàyé wípé àwọn ológun orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yóò máa rí dájú wípé iṣẹ́ àti ìṣe àwọn kò ní mẹ́hẹ lórí ẹ̀tọ́ ààbò àti ìdàgbàsókè tó péye lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí bó ti wù kó rí. Tope Alabi aṣojúkọ̀ròyìn wa jábọ̀ wípé níbi ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àkọ́kọ́ irú rẹ̀ tó wáyé nílùú Àbújá lórí ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ ènìyàn ló ti fi ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lélẹ̀ nígbà tó ń ṣojú ọ̀gá àgbà náà níbi ayẹyẹ yìí. Ní báyìí o, iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá nílùú Àbújá ti pàtẹ àwọn ọ̀daràn 19 fún aráàlú lórí onírúurú ẹ̀sùn tí wọ́n lùgbàdì rẹ̀ káàkiri nílùú Àbújá. Kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá fún ìlú Àbújá Haruna Garuba nígbà tó ń pàtẹ àwọn ọ̀daràn wọ̀nyí sọ wípé ọ̀nà àbáyọ tó mú kí àwọn fi kẹ́sẹ̀ já lórí àrígbámú àwọn ọ̀daràn wọ̀nyí ní ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀tun tí àwọn fi kún iṣẹ́ ìgbódegbà àwọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí Ọ̀nàtú Yakubu aṣojúkọ̀ròyìn wa ṣe jábọ̀. Tó rí ọ̀hún kò ní ju báyìí lọ ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan láòjì ò kásùn láyọ̀.